everyone. Welcome to the Doozy podcast. You're probably thinking, what's the word doozy? What does that mean? Well, the word doozy means something that is extraordinary or outstanding of its kind, and I'm not that, but I want to be so bad. And this is the podcast where I give you all the tools you need to become successful in life. And the best part is I'm going to learn how to be successful myself. I also teach you how to be successful yourself, so we're learning how to be successful ourselves. You got that? I'm your host, Alex Staub, and today I'm going to learn how to get along with your sibling, okay? We've all got them, but I'm not alone. This episode is a very special episode because I have one of my siblings here. Please, everyone, put your hands together for Zach Staub. He's been on the podcast before.
Hey, people! We feeling doozy or what?
That's it. Today's episode is also sponsored by Botticelli'sFoods.com. Come on. Huh?
That shit's great.
Huh?
That shit's bomb.
Use promo code Doozy at the checkout for 10% off, DOOZY. You don't know what to get anyone for Christmas right now? Go buy them Botticelli's. Do it. Well, hey, Zach.
How we doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm just tubular.
Tubular. Love it.
Tubular.
That's all the lingo that you got from the West Coast, right?
Oh, that's a West Coast style right there, but we speak a lot slower over there, man.
Okay, is that the vibe right now?
That's the vibe.
Yeah, for context, Zach just took a huge poop on the squatty potty right there, so he is feeling loose, low energy. He's good to go.
I decided to do my New Year's resolution 3 weeks early, so my body's kind of in shock right now, and it's cleaning its bowels out.
Okay, what is that? What's your New Year's resolution?
To just not be fat.
Okay, perfect. But hey, if you are fat, we love you.
You know what helps with that? Botticelli.
That's right. Buy Botticelli's.
It will help you stay actually thin.
Yeah,
because it's healthy.
It's healthy, and if you have enough of it, you could get fat. It's a win-win scenario.
It's the Alfredo.
It's a win-win scenario. Today's episode is how to get along with your siblings. Zach, let me ask, have you ever had any siblings?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I got two.
Ooh.
I got one next to me and one up the road.
One up the road. David.
Yeah. David.
He's also been on the podcast, has done how to do your taxes, how to do trading cards. He's an OG of the podcast.
He's more famous than me on this thing, and I was one of the original. What was it? The 12th episode? The 7th episode?
Yeah, you were on. Were you on before him? I'm not sure.
I was on.
I think so. Yeah.
How to golf, man.
That's right.
Come on.
How to golf. That was a good one.
I was like number 7, and I zoomed in from California at the time.
Yeah, and I was in Oklahoma at the time, which is crazy.
And now here we are in New York.
And now here we are. Oh,
New York City.
So, as far as siblings go, like what's your greatest or worst memory of, me being your sibling?
That is a loaded question. That is a loaded question.
This episode is how to unpack trauma.
This is actually therapy, not a podcast.
Yes.
Remember the time you chased me into the bathroom and I broke my toe?
No.
Yeah. I do. I remember that.
Yeah. I read this thing once or saw this, I was listening to this podcast where this guy had these brothers who, would beat him up the whole time, or like there were so many traumatic moments that he remembers. And then years later when he finally went to his brothers and was like, you know what, I hate that one time. The brothers just never even remembered it because everyone remembers things differently. So you call it trauma. Maybe you deserve.
Think of like any movie that's out now, right? It's all the protagonist is all about that one person in high school that was bullied, and they meet up with this bully long time later, and the protagonist would always be like, "Hey, you used to bully me," and he'd be like, "Who are you?" You don't remember who you bully because at the time it's about you. You want to make them feel better. But the person that's getting bullied is
I've never bullied you, dude. This is just,
I can't
sibling rivalry, dude.
I can't pee without thinking someone's going to shove me.
You know what? You turned out okay. I was bracing you for every scenario possible before you went out in the real world. You know what I mean? You want to pee, you got to be ready at all times.
Yeah, you can't pee when you're clenched, though.
Right. Exactly. Well,
there's a taste.
You know, my favorite memory of you was every day. You know,
Every day.
every day.
This is the sap story. They're trying to
Every
get
day. You're the
make
best-
up for all the
You're
times.
the best brother anyone could ever ask for. No trauma.
No trauma.
No. None that I can think of, but I'm sure as we go along,
all-
I'll be
it's
like,
all-
wait a second. I've packed it away really
It's
tight.
all been suppressed. You'll see like
It's
the Grinch
suppressed.
eyes slowly
It's
going up. Be like,
suppressed.
wait
It's
a minute.
suppressed.
I remember what happened.
Oh
that day.
shit. Well, just in
You
time for the
You
holidays.
stole my Play-Doh.
That's that was I stole someone's Play-Doh, but that wasn't yours at a birthday party, and Dad dragged me out of the birthday
Didn't
party.
you throw away
Remember
your
that?
candy?
He threw away everything. Yeah,
Throw
'cause-
away all your candy.
Well, I was taking everyone's candy at this birthday party, and then there was this piñata that came out, and I was like, "Do not go to the piñata. Like, you have enough candy." And I was like, "All right." And as soon as that piñata bursted, I dove and just pushed everyone out of the way and started grabbing all this candy. And as I'm like in the pile, I just feel like I get lifted up into the air, and I'm like, wait. And it was all coming out, and the only thing I could hold on to was this little piece of Play-Doh.
I remember you bringing that home actually.
And
it was blue.
And he dragged me to the
blue or
car, and I
red?
sat in the car, and I was like, all right, I understand why, but this Play-Doh.
And you're not traumatized from that, but now you know
no,
to share.
because I deserved it, you know. He said, don't do that. And I was like, I'm going to do it.
I'm gonna do it because
And
you're
that-
the firstborn.
And that's
You
the
get it all.
consequences.
You
Yeah.
get it all as the firstborn.
Right.
Is
And
it
then-
the first or second? The first. The first gets it all.
Yeah, I feel like, isn't it the thing where like I go through all the shit to try to, and then try to warn you about the shit, you know, coming down the pipeline?
Yeah, but I still smell it.
Okay. Yeah, you can smell it, but you're not. But I'm covered in it.
Metaphors.
Yay! All right. Well, these are the top 8 tips on how to get along with your sibling. You ready?
I'm ready to learn now.
You ready? You want to learn how to get along?
I'm ready.
I feel like we've gotten along
28
pretty well.
years,
No?
28 years later. Yep.
I'll remember the times we didn't. Now it's about to get. Okay, here we go. Tip number 8, everybody.
I'm flinching.
Think before you speak. Okay. Though it isn't always easy, thinking before you speak is important in improving the communication between you and your siblings. It not only prevents things from escalating into an argument, but can keep you from saying words that you'll later regret. Fuck you! When you feel yourself getting angry, take a moment and count to 10, okay? If you still haven't calmed down, excuse yourself and leave the room. Excuse me. I'm gonna go. Actually, I think there was one. I remember. I remember
This is
now.
therapy.
There was one Christmas down in Florida, and I was having a rough year, and I was medically obese, okay, and I just remember being in the pool, and you were just making fun of how fat I was.
Wait
that
a
year.
minute.
You fat shamed me at the pool. I remember that.
That's because I had a six pack at the time.
And I could, yeah, you were in
I was
shape
in
at that time, and I wasn't in the best of shape, and you didn't hold back. You
couldn't
were
catch
like,
me.
You were
You
like,
couldn't-
"Whoa." And I was like, I can't hit him. Like, I'm not just gonna start wailing on him in the family public pool here.
I remember this. We
So I would try to push you, and you'd be like, "You tired yet, you fat boy?"
listen. Was that not motivation?
Yeah, that was motivation.
That was motivation. So it kind of like in turn, I'm the only person that can do that though.
Mm-hmm.
If mom said you look super fat, you would get fatter because you'd be like, no, screw that, I'm not. But if I said, dude, you look fat, you'd be like, all right, my bro says I'm fat.
Yeah.
I remember
fat.
you lost all your hair and you've lost like maybe.
I lost my fat and I lost my hair, gained some fat. You gotta. One's gotta take your place of the other.
No,
one.
I do remember we dropped you off at college, and then we went to
Before you left.
Right before
you were
we-
like,
Well,
"See
yeah,
ya, fatty."
yeah, no, right before we left, we dropped you off at college. You were skinny. You were
College, I was skinny.
You were skinny, but
Yeah.
then we tried to surprise mom for Christmas, and you drove down from
And you were like,
school.
"Have you seen my brother?"
And I remember I hid you in her room,
Yeah.
and I haven't seen you yet because I think dad answered the door. He put you in their room. And then when mom came in, I walked around the corner and you were like hunched up in the back wearing all black and you were like, "Hey, mom."
She was like,
And
"Get help!"
And I was like, "Oh, like what happened?" That was the college 15. Like that, but that everyone, I gained it.
I feel the trauma now.
Yeah,
I feel the trauma
You
now.
sweat it yet?
Yeah, but that's
I remember
because
that.
it's 300 degrees in here.
But I'm the only one that can do that. As
Yeah.
a brother, you're the only one that can do that.
Yeah, and again, nowadays in 2023, you can't, if you're fat, love
God.
yourself, no fat shaming, blah, blah, blah. Okay?
No, if you're fat, you're fat. Listen, I don't want to get canceled here, but if you're fat,
if you're fat, you're fat.
How
okay?
about this? If you're fat but yet you're comfortable, good for you because you're comfortable with yourself.
Yeah.
But if you feel uncomfortable and you're fat, do something about it.
That's a good way to put it. If you're
Right?
fat and you love being fat,
Then hey, be fat. But if you're fat and you don't like being fat, don't be fat. Why are we getting stuck on fat right now? Because that was my trauma. All right, let me finish this tip.
think before you speak, okay? That was number one tip.
Listen.
Think before you speak, okay? The things you say to your siblings can last well beyond an argument. Harsh words can unfortunately shape how your brother or sister views you moving forward. If you're already in a bad mood, avoid talking to your sibling until you're in a better mindset. Hey, you're fat.
When it says shape you for the
Lash,
future, that's
shape me. What shape was I in? Lashing out at others is often the result of anger and frustration felt in another part of life. All right, well, there we go. Think before you speak.
Think before you speak.
Unless,
That's a life tip.
but I do think with the whole sibling thing, if I show up to the holidays and you haven't seen me in 2 years and you're like, holy shit.
Well, I'm gonna
That's
give
when
you.
you should pull me aside and be like, hey, man, you're popping out of your sweater.
No. I've always waited, except when I was younger. Well, okay, I guess this was a lie then, but I feel like I've always waited for you to approach me with like, hey, man, like how do you look good? And I would say I golf all the time. Like
Yeah.
that's just cardio, and that's what happened at that. The same scenario we were talking before. But I always feel like I waited for you to come to me with your problem. I never was like, dude, you're fat.
Right. Yeah, but
Maybe once.
I'll never really come to you with I mean, in that moment when you had the six pack and I was fat, that's a good scenario. I'd be like, hey,
how'd you do
What
that?
do we do?
Yeah.
But like,
Jose, can I get a six pack?
But as the older brother, I feel like you should come to me with problems, whenever you're ready, because I can help answer some stuff too.
Well, yeah, it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
As I was
life and body.
Yeah,
Yeah.
life and body.
All right. Think before you speak.
Aye.
Because you could traumatize your sibling for life.
For life, as we are sitting here
As we are sitting here.
talking about how fat we were.
Yep. R.
Are
Tip number 781.
I'm trying
Moving
not to
on.
get fat for 2024.
That's right.
I can't see. All right, tip 7. Use I phrases instead of I'm
Use
fat.
your eyes.
I'm fat. Not you.
I think you're fat.
That's just a loophole. Instead of always placing the blame on your brother or sister, try using I phrases. I feel hurt when you do that. I don't appreciate when you take my things without asking.
I don't think you can fit in those pants.
I don't think you can finish that beer.
That's right. I don't think you can finish that beer.
I statements encourage assertiveness without making the recipient feel defensive. Don't overuse the I phrases. If you rapidly fire off, I feel this or I feel that, you don't give the other person
give
a
a
chance
fuck
to
how you
respond. Your tone may be viewed as aggressive. I feel like shit because you look like shit. You made the Christmas photo look like crap.
I feel better when you look worse. Yeah.
All right. An example for the correct way to use
Me,
an I
me,
phrase
me.
is I feel frustrated when you take my clothes without asking. In the future, I'd
Not that they would
appreciate
fit.
if you could ask me before you taking anything.
Okay.
You could never take my clothes.
No.
I could never take your clothes.
No.
We
That
were
was my shirt,
we-
actually.
because there's a hole in it. You gave me a whole shirt.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful shirt.
Yeah.
Shout out
nice
to
shirt.
Stranger Things.
Yeah, yeah.
But I remember we were tweeners.
Tweeners.
Mom used the word tweeners for clothes.
Ew.
Like,
What does that
what are you, a 32 or 34? I'll be like, I'm a 33.
Yeah, she used to yell out sizes in the mall.
In the mall.
You know,
She'd walk into the
Especially-
dressing room and be
yeah.
like, oh no, my son's in there.
during my extra,
Show me your pants.
Right, during
Show
my
me your
extra-
shirt.
Oh, dude, that was the most embarrassing thing.
Shopping
we-
with you as a
dude,
younger sibling was incredible
no.
because you were so embarrassed.
Because I was,
It
you
was
know, I had
incredible.
that little extra weight. I was a little insecure.
No, even when you
And-
were skinny,
Oh, well, I was.
you were insecure
well,
that
was
mom
it.
was there.
Well, I was, you know, because she would be like, "Do you need a bigger size? Hello,
How's
Alex,
how's the crotch? How's the
Alex,
calves?
Do you need bigger size? Bigger? I'm like, oh my god.
So like, but the best part about the sibling thing, right? So I always would watch you go through that struggle, right? I'd see
And you
you
were
go.
like, that's not gonna happen
you
to me.
like, but you don't know. You didn't know your size. You didn't know what would fit. You didn't know like you, but you liked the style of something, and then you grab it and run off, and mom would have no idea where you are. So then she'd come screaming, looking for you, which is fair because
Right.
you're her child.
Right.
So I would see you sneak off, stealing random sizes that she has no idea. So I would then go and turn and be like, okay, mom, I just grabbed these pants. They're a size 32. I'm gonna grab a 34, and I'm gonna go try them on. She'd say, okay, and
so
she wouldn't.
I did help you.
Yeah, because
Okay,
I
went through the bullshit.
because you
to
walking
help
around the store, we walking around Bob's stores like this, just like all awkward, and you just hear, what about this one? What about that one? And I'm sitting there going, Alex, what about this one? And you're like, everyone shut up. Everyone leave me alone.
Yeah. See, we're
learned.
unpacking my trauma. We'll get to you. All right. So
necklace.
no eye phases.
No, I think you got one more.
Okay, keep going.
It takes time to feel comfortable with and incorporate I phrases into your language. Don't feel bad if you slip and forget to use them. Keep practicing. You'll get there, team.
Yeah.
Just keep practicing. I think you're fat.
You
I
don't say you're fat. Say I think you're fat.
I believe.
I feel like
I feel like those are pretty key words. I feel. I believe. That's
Yes.
therapy words.
yes.
Where'd you get this stuff from?
These are the top tips on how to,
From unpacking trauma.
credible sources.
I'm gonna have some crazy dreams.
Moving on, everyone. I'm gonna go retry on all my clothing after this.
Spring
That's it. Tip number 6, everyone. Apologize. Okay. I'm sorry I called you fat.
Oh, there we go. Look at this circle. Of
Apologizing can be a hard thing to do. Admitting wrongdoing can be difficult, as emotions and pride often get in the way. Though it may be hard to do so, get into the habit of apologizing to your siblings. Whether you said something you shouldn't have or did something that was hurtful, be the bigger person and apologize. You know, I don't think you ever apologized for calling me fat in Florida. That one
No, so you know what?
time. So I've been hurt this entire time.
You know what? You know what really pops in my head?
See how what this turns is? You never really know what's gonna happen on the podcast.
Listen, it sounds like we had a lot of trauma
Yeah.
about being fat.
We should do this once a week.
We should do this on a treadmill.
Yes. The next one we're gonna be on the treadmill.
No, you know what really comes to mind when you say apologize? Is,
Yeah.
I remember I was probably 16, and you were about to leave for college. You were a senior, and you were out with your friends. You had the Mitsubishi Silverback that you were driving around like a thug. And I remember being home. I was watching a movie. I don't know if it was the Never Been Kissed movie that you make fun of me for, that I apparently watched for 3 minutes the one time you walked in.
Change the channel.
But I remember I was watching TV, and it was like the climax of the movie.
Yeah.
And you came in, and you were a little buzzed or something, and you were like, "What's up, bro?" Yeah. And you like hit my leg, and I'm like, in the movie, I'm like, "Get the fuck away from me!" And you sat down, like in the sofa next to me, and you took a phone call. And you took a phone call, and I've never been more irritated in my life. And I just remember I missed the whole climax. The person died. Something happened. And I remember standing up and taking the remote and whipping it at your face.
Oh.
And I didn't apologize. And I ran upstairs, and I was like, he sucks. He ruined my move.
Wow, I don't remember that.
That was traumatic for me.
Wow,
I chucked
and you
the remote at
never
your face.
apologized for
I
throwing the
did
remote.
because Mom was like, "You chucked the remote at your brother. Say you're sorry." And I was like, "I'm sorry. I actually feel bad about that." Because I did feel bad. I chucked something hard at your face, but you were being a dick. You didn't know.
I was just taking a phone call.
You came flying in the middle of a movie.
All right, so you assaulted me. You admitted assault on the podcast.
You didn't bleed.
We got him.
Well, you didn't bleed. You didn't get a. You
We
didn't
got
get
him.
anything
I don't
bad
remember
about it.
that. That's real deep. I boxed
I must
that
have hit you
up.
pretty hard then.
Yeah, I don't remember. That's
I actually hit you in the head. You got knocked out.
yeah. Wow.
That was traumatic for me.
Yeah.
This is trauma.
What, hurting people?
The first time.
That was the first time.
Well, it was like built up anger I didn't know what to do with, so I just said screw you and I chucked it at your face.
Nice. Was it never been kissed?
You know, to this day I don't think I've ever seen that movie. I still really don't, because I would then, because of that, I would then watch what I watched on TV, and I would make sure I had those millennial guys. The
See?
millennial kids
Trauma,
out there
yeah.
know this. When you had TV, you would always have a switchback channel.
Yeah.
So
like
you'd
the
always,
last
yeah,
or
you'd
whatever,
always
yeah.
last. So you'd have like ABC Family on, and then you'd go to like, you know, ridiculousness or you know, some
your safe
show
channel,
you, yeah,
the
you're
safe
safe.
channel,
You
yeah.
need a fallback channel.
Yeah,
so when
yeah.
you hear someone coming, you just immediately
you change
click
it,
last.
and they're like, yeah, what's up? I'm just
So
watching.
If I ever decided to watch Never Been Kissed again, which
Yeah.
I probably will never because it's a traumatic movie that I've never seen now,
Right.
I would always put on a backup show, so when you came in, you wouldn't make fun of me.
Yeah. No, that's how it goes. For context, everyone, Zach was watching TV in the other room one day, and I came home and I walked in, and he was just flipping through channels, and the movie Never Been Kissed came on. I think Kirsten Dunst is in that.
No, that's Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore, right? And I've never seen the movie either, but it looked like a chick flick, and I made fun of him as he was changing the movies, and I didn't stop making fun of him, and
was
and
for,
that's
like-
yeah,
it
and
was-
you were scared to watch
It was
TV.
like 5 years, you'd be
Yeah.
like, "What are you watching? Never Been Kissed?"
Yeah.
I'd be like, no.
Oh,
You told people that. You were like,
Wow.
"Yo, you watch Never Been Kissed." I'm like, I don't even know if it's a chick flick. I have no idea what that movie is.
yeah, it's a chick flick.
I didn't.
And
Oh, you watched it?
no,
Have you
but
seen that
no,
movie?
but that's the context, right? Allie, have you seen Never Been Kissed before?
No.
Does it sound like a chick flick?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we have it.
All right, so you made fun of me for the right reasons as an older
You
brother.
know, but flinging remotes and teasing each other about TV shows, like that's all part of the sibling rivalry. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we've all
Wait, I'm
grown.
not done with
I
this.
have yet to throw anything at anybody since,
Well, you know
On
what?
purpose.
I wanna apologize for ruining the movie.
and I apologize because I feel. I don't know where I was going with that one. I apologize for throwing that at your face.
Oh,
Oh.
and here see?
Oh.
Tip number 6, apologize everyone. We apologized.
Don't touch me.
All right, I'm not done with this tip. Be sincere in your apology. I'm sorry.
Sound like Peter.
It will only make matters worse if your apology is sarcastic or forced. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I hit you with the remote, you
Or-
fat fuck.
It's not my fault you're fat. You couldn't feel that.
I
through all
couldn't
the
miss
fat.
you if I tried.
Couldn't feel that.
Oh.
Bounced off your cheek.
If you're on the receiving end of an apology, accept it with a smile.
Ugh.
Forgiveness is equally important. Okay? I forgive you.
There's
I
so many-
apologize, I forgive you.
There's so many times I was like a little devil, and you would get caught.
But that little camaraderie is good. You gotta
Yeah.
like spice things up. You gotta like make fun of each other because then when I would make fun of you and tease you when you went to school and someone else teased you, try to bully you, you were like screw off, dude. You know, like you knew how to handle that.
Yeah. So, but like, I feel like our house was more of like this positive flip.
Yeah.
Meaning, if someone said "fuck you," you'd be like, "Oh, thank you so much,"
Yeah,
and then that
aw.
would piss off somebody
Yeah.
rather than be like, "No, fuck you, dude."
Yeah. We were
So-
unfazed.
So if someone was try to be a bully to me, I'd be like, "Do you feel any better now? Do you feel any better that you said that to me?"
yeah.
And then people would kind of look at me like, "Yo, what? Did he just
Yeah.
not try to
Yeah.
initiate back?"
Just diffuse them. Yeah.
Yeah, you diffuse it right at the stem, right when it starts, and it's like, I don't know, it just never
For as
bothers me.
insecure as we were younger, we were also very secure. You know.
We were very secure.
Yeah.
But you have to get insecure in order to get secure.
Yeah, you got to know what insecure feels like to be not
You have to
secure
be suffocated
so much.
by
yeah.
a-
mhm. All right, well, let's move on to tip number 5, everyone.
Number 5. 5?
What?
We're on 5, yeah.
Yeah, we're on 5.
I can't see anything.
I think we're on 5.
Share your personal belongings.
Whoa!
Well, this is a whole new step.
Here we
If
go.
you're like most people, the idea of sharing your siblings, what?
Sharing with
with your siblings doesn't come naturally. No,
Share
that
your
did
siblings.
not. Particularly if you are already share a room with them. Whether it's clothes, music, or for young siblings, toys, sharing seems to be a breed of a lot arguments and hostility.
What?
Set-
Sharing seems to breed a lot of arguments
Sharing,
and
the
hostility.
comma's not in the right place there.
What?
Sharing seems to breed a lot of arguments and hostility. So, let me. So I was on my inversion table
I
earlier today.
feel like you can't read.
I was on my inversion table earlier
Yeah.
today, and I was thinking of. I read through this,
yeah.
and then I went for a bike ride, and then I did my inversion, and the blood went flying in my head, and I had this traumatic experience, but it wasn't traumatic. It was more of a repressed memory, where. Do you remember that really small, like 1 foot TV we had in the kitchen?
The white one, yeah.
Yeah, the massive back.
Yeah.
You were 2 years. You were a junior, and that was when like a mini plasmas came out, and we got one for the kitchen. We put it in the kitchen. I said, I call that TV.
Yeah.
So I put that TV in my room.
Yeah.
First TV to ever go in one of each other's rooms.
Yeah.
You didn't want it.
That was a statement.
I
yeah.
wanted it, but subconsciously you wanted it. So I was so excited. We had dinner that night. I was like, I'm going to go watch TV in my room in the very small and static looking TV. But because
Yeah,
I
it
can
had the
watch it in my
antennas, yeah,
room,
yeah.
it was so exciting.
Yeah.
I went
Got
upstairs.
like 3 channels, but yeah.
Oh, like 6. It was
Yeah.
awesome. I went upstairs and I couldn't find the remote.
And
And what just came back to your head?
you threw it, or I hit it, or is that what?
So
Did I hide it out of spite? Yeah,
out of
yeah.
spite, you took the remote out of my room and you hid it in my room.
Yeah, because it wasn't. Yeah.
So when
I
mom was like, "Alex, did you take the remote?" You
Like-
said, "No, it's in his room."
Yeah. Yeah. I was smart back
And I
then.
was so like, "What?"
I was like, I didn't take it. I don't know where it is. It's in his room. I don't know. Maybe he misplaced it in his room.
So
you know what I mean?
maybe I just needed to share the TV
Well, you know why you got that TV?
because you didn't want it.
No, because I didn't have good grades, and you did. And they would.
That's why.
Yeah, they were gonna. So I actually, by birthright,
Your birthright was on the TV.
By birthright, would have that TV, and I didn't do too well in school, and when I was like, all right, because I went to that. You don't think I went there first and was like, the TV's
The
mine?
TV's mine.
And mom and dad were like, nope. And I was like, why? And they were like, Zach's gonna have it. I was like, what? What? And they were like, well, he's got good grades. You don't have good grades. And they used it as like a motivation thing.
Wow.
And that's why you got it. And I, was
thought
like,
I thought I was getting it because you were leaving soon,
no,
so there's no reason.
no.
Yeah, you hid my remote from it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
And that's the
Pretty sure like a week later you took the batteries out of there, and I didn't
I used
even.
to fuck with
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'm not going to get good grades.
Yeah.
So I'm going to.
I'm just gonna. You're gonna take it over from me if you can't have it.
Well, my plan was to just erode, your vision of the TV, so that you're like, you know what, I hate this thing, and then you like throw it out, and I'm like, I guess I'll take it if it's not. And you're like, it doesn't work, and I'm like, all right, and then all of a sudden you walk it by, and the TV's just
Just
Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah. Oh, so I never gave you the satisfaction every time you fucked with me. I never did.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you'd look at me and you'd give me that little grin, and then you'd punch me.
Well, you used to do that thing behind mom where I'd be like, look, and you'd be laughing, and then she'd turn around, you pretend to cry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's natural.
We messed with each other.
That's
all right?
natural. All right, that's natural. Here you
But
go.
we apologized.
we apologized. We
Okay.
learned how to share, and I believe
share.
that we are.
Very
traumatic.
We shared toys. We shared stuff. It took a while, but we got there.
Took a long time. All right, set some ground rules about sharing personal belongings. My
right.
TV, don't touch.
I
Inform
feel
your
like-
sibling that they are welcome to borrow your items as long as they ask you first. That just seems like a barrier that you have to learn rather
Right.
than told.
I knew you were going to say no, so I would.
So
I
you
would
just
take
take
it.
it. Yeah, but now we know
But
that
you've done that.
Yeah. Well, like think of the community you're in right now, right?
Right.
You know how to share with other people. You have to sign up and do it properly.
Right.
When you are driving in traffic, you use your blinker and you wait
Yeah.
to go on. Like it's your turn. You
Yeah.
learn that by using, sharing, blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
If there are items that are off limits, like my TV, be sure to let your brother or sister know. Don't get too angry with them if they forget to ask you the first time they borrow something. Nicely remind them about your rule.
Hey, remember my rule?
My
I
rule?
feel like you didn't.
Technically, I never made a rule about the TV,
No.
but I then did.
Yeah, I would have been like, fuck your rule.
I don't think we ever made rules. I think mom and dad
It
did.
was just war.
I think it was just war between us, and then she would be like,
Yeah.
"No, you can't do that."
And then
He
we
could
would
do
gang up and try to outdo their rules.
Nothing's coming back for that one.
No?
I think
We've teamed up
we've
before.
teamed up
yeah,
for
we've
yeah.
teamed up.
Remember therapy? We teamed up to get back at them to get out of therapy.
Therapy?
Yeah.
No, I don't
that's
remember
an old one. That's an old
I don't
one.
remember going. Oh, I remember trying therapy and it didn't work.
It was like a day.
I was like, ugh.
We tried like an afternoon
Yeah. And then we were like, oh, wait.
because I was a pretty bad kid.
Yeah. You still are. I feel like.
Hey,
hey,
I believe I was a bad kid.
Hey, well, let's take a little break from all this drama, okay? We're going to go to the commercial break. We'll be right back, okay? Hey, everyone. Are you tired of buying expensive, low-quality foods? Fields?
I don't think.
Are you tired of buying expensive, low-quality foods? I know I am. Huh? What about you?
Yeah.
And that's why it's time to discover the authentic taste of Italy with Botticelli Foods. Give me one of these, like you're on the QVC here, okay? They are a family-owned brand that delivers farm-to-table products straight to your dinner table, all right? Experience the rich flavors of their Italian cuisine, which has been... keep doing it. Jesus. That has been passed down from generation to generation, okay? If you go to BotticelliFoods.com and use promo code Doozy, D-O-O-Z-Y, at checkout, you can get 10% off all Botticelli food products, okay? We're talking about every kind of sauce you could think of. Olive oil, balsamic, and many, many more flavorful products. What's your favorite type of...
sauces.
yeah.
I like the vodka sauce.
Boom! We'll
know
go
why?
buy some. Look... Remember, Botticelli foods are extraordinary. They're not expensive. They're
They're not.
cheap. They're delicious. Okay? And Botticelli foods are extraordinary. I keep saying
High quality
They're
food for a
extraordinary.
great price.
they're extraordinary and outstanding, just like the men of Doozy. Boom. And now we go to my favorite part of the ad break, Jose. Jose, do you have any siblings? Do you have any trauma you'd like to unpack? And how do you think this episode's going with my brother?
Jose, how much do you weigh?
That's a great question. I weigh 185.
Jose, I feel like you can attack him on the podcast if
Give
you
me a
want.
six
Go
pack.
for it. Nice.
It's so funny because like I'm usually watching something while I edit, and then this part happened where you asked me a fucking question, and I have to now just start filming. It's really inconvenient for me. I have two brothers and a sister. I'm a middle child. Me and my sister in the middle, younger brother, older brother. Great relationship. I still talk to them every once in a while. Not as much as I'd like to. Yeah. Alright, that's it. Alex, you suck. Your brother's great. I like have him be the... You know what? Have him be the new host. You retire.
Wow. He's He's got a lot of trauma to unpack. He's got a lot of trauma to unpack, but we love him. We love him. Oh,
Jose, you're too good.
Botticelli's and Jose, we love them all.
You're
Okay.
too kind.
Hey, let's get back to the trauma, huh? All right, we're in the top 4 tips, everybody. Top 4 tips.
Top 4.
Have you reached out to your sibling? Do you want to reconnect? You know, do you want to apologize? I feel like out of, I mean, I feel like in life, our sibling upbringing wasn't as bad as some people that I'm sure you've met with. Some people don't even talk to their siblings. Some people hate their siblings. Some people sleep with their siblings.
Whoa.
And that is...
that's not a good segue.
And that's not a... Well, I feel it needs to be addressed, okay? And because it's illegal. All right? Well, would you agree?
That it's illegal?
No, they're like, our,
Yes,
upbringing wasn't as bad
I
as,
think-
some other people's siblings, and they should apologize.
Listen. I think having a sibling is fantastic because it always gives you someone to talk to, even when you don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And if you haven't talked to your sibling in like 10, 15, 30 years because of something, or just you can't and you want to, just do it because life is short, it's precious, and every day above ground is something special.
Amen to that. Amen to that. I feel like that was really good.
That was me bringing it back.
That was a really good speech. Bringing it back. Okay,
Bringing
well,
it
let's
back.
bring it back out again. Tip number 4,
Bring it
let
back.
your sibling hang out with your friends.
Oh
Okay?
God.
This is particularly relevant for older siblings, as it's often younger siblings who want to hang out with the big kids. Just because all my friends are fat. While it can be annoying to have your younger brother or sister around constantly, it's also nice to include them from time to time. I made it a point to bring you out to events and parties and stuff to get you into that realm before you actually start doing it yourself, you know?
brought me to my first party. In my first party, I took a shot of SoCo.
Oof.
That was awful.
That's
but
gross.
it was great. And then
That's all we could afford back then.
Yeah, you brought me to a second party that we all slept over at, and I knew nobody, so I ended up like sleeping by myself in the corner. But I woke up, but it was cool because I was at an older party,
Right?
Hanging out, and everyone looked at me like, "Yo, you're Staub's younger brother. What's up, dude?"
Yeah.
Like that was cool. And then there was one time you brought me to the House of Blues with I don't know if I could say names, but
No, don't say names.
I'm not gonna say names. You brought me to the House of Blues because you're friends with performing, and I was friends with him too. So we went, we saw him perform. He was dating a girl at the time, and he performed that song for her, and that was the first time I like went into like the House of Blues Boston in a big scenario like that. So I was like under your wing there, and you were like, "Yo, stick with me, kid. Like, check this out."
Hell yeah.
And you drove the Silverback, the Mitsubishi, and I remember you ended up driving 2 extra people home, and everyone in the car was just like, "Yo, little Staub, get in the back." And your trunk was smaller than this table. And I remember you driving 60 and a 20 and hitting every bump you could. And I had a blast.
It was a rite of passage.
It was it was like a fraternity. It was great. But
Yeah.
I was hanging out with your friends, so then after that, I would see them in the hallways and they'd be like, "Yo, what up, little Staub?" And then my friends were like, "What are you doing with them? They're so old." I'm like, "All right, sick. That's cool."
All right.
But like, you could never do that with me. You could never do that down to my friends. Though.
Well, actually, I remember when I came to visit you in college and I bought everyone booze at that like first family weekend.
Oh, you came to every family weekend.
Yeah, every family weekend.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Well, freshman year.
I think.
You beer bonged 5 beers in a row and you puked.
Yeah. No, I don't. No, I'm not a puker like that. No, I feel like that's a lie. But I just remember going there and being like, yeah. I remember everyone being like, "We need alcohol, but like we need someone that can like get it, but we didn't know it." And I was like, I'll do it. I got you.
Was that you to hang out with my friends or just to fit in?
I wanted to look. I wanted you to look cool at getting booze for everybody.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But isn't it like you want to hang out with your friends? Well, I let you hang out with my friends.
Yeah, I've hung out with your friends.
Whether if you've had alcohol or not.
It is a little different because I feel like the old fart walking around.
Yeah,
you know.
It
but
is.
like
It's such difference.
because it's a whole different thing. But like, yeah.
Because my friends would listen to you. Sorry. Hairball. My friends would listen to you, and then we would that would be our setting. And then if I came to your friend group, I would be listening to you.
Yeah,
That's just how it was, because I always listened up.
Yeah.
And my generation always listened up.
Yeah.
And my set of friends, I was very happy with my set of friends because we all are striving at this moment, which is great because we all listened, learned, and did dumb, stupid stuff, but we learned from it.
Yeah. And that's what it's
And
all
a
about.
couple of those was from you.
Yeah. Well, I also was like, yo, I'm bringing my brother because my brother's cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Little Staub.
Little Staub, right? Even during school, I would leave class and find you in the school during classes, and I'd just come in and talk to the teachers, during class.
Yeah, you did do that once.
I'd be like, that's my brother.
Yeah, you banged on the door one time. I think I was in science class, and you were like, yo, you know that kid? I was sitting there, everyone's like, what? And the kid, I forget who it was, and she was like, "Get out of here, Alex." It's like, "Yo, that's my bro," and then you'd leave. I'd be like, "What the hell?" And everyone's like, "Yo, your brother's so cool."
Hey, dude, I remember the House of Blues night now. It's coming back to me.
Please
No, it wasn't you. The guy that we went to go see that performed on the stage, he asked his girl to prom on stage. And it was so awkward because I think she was about to break up with him right before, or something like that.
I got the
And he was like, it was so random too. Like he just stopped singing mid song and was like, "Will you go to prom with me?" And then no one said anything
because no one knew who he was.
And he's like, well, where is she? Where is she? And we were at the back tail. We were like, "Hey!"
I was standing next to her, and she was like, "Oh shit!"
And she was like, "Fuck!" And he was like, "She's like, yeah," or I think I had to be like, "She said yes."
I remember that.
And he was like, all right. And he continued the song, and we were all like, all right. So should we leave
Everyone's
now?
like, "Who is this kid? Get him out of here!"
Should we leave now? All right. Well, hey, good. Let your siblings hang out with you. Okay.
As you can
And
tell,
your
these
friends.
were all really good times that we were talking
Where
about.
was I? Be sure to only include them in age-appropriate activities. Oh, shit. For example, if you're watching a violent movie and have a much younger sibling, it would not be appropriate to include them. Okay, I've showed violent movies to you. Older siblings, this is applicable to you as well. Just because you're older doesn't mean your younger siblings don't want to be included anymore. If you're going on a girls' trip, invite your younger sister to join them. All right, well, I don't have a sister. All right, well,
Do you remember the Tale of Virtue? Was that the VHS?
With the kangaroos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a scary movie.
The Warriors of Virtue?
Yeah, the Warriors of Virtue.
Yeah.
That movie freaked me out, and I can only watch it with you and Dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was such a good movie. But it was so poorly filmed, but it was so great.
It was a weird movie.
It was fantastic.
They were kangaroos.
With glowing swords.
Yeah.
Because I remember
But it
he
was
fell,
filmed really well back then.
It was. He fell down this sewage thing.
Yeah.
Because he had to prove to himself prove to his friends that he could cross it.
Yeah.
And
he
then
died and woke up in kangaroo land as a kung fu fighter.
Yeah. But I remember that would for a violent film, that and Van Helsing. I had to watch those with you guys.
Van Helsing was really good.
Oh, that was a great movie. We snuck into that movie.
Did we?
Yeah. We went to see It's Raining Cats and Dogs.
Okay.
It was me, you, Dylan, our friends, and his dad.
Yeah.
And as soon as we got out, that was our first movie that we ever snuck into.
Oh yeah.
We got out of It's Raining Cats and Dogs, and I remember
that sucked.
I remember the dads were like, "Yeah, no, we're not going to do this.
Yeah.
We came here to see this thing. Don't tell your mom."
Right.
And we went and saw Van Helsing, and I was like, "This movie's fantastic."
That was a good one. All right. Well,
therapy's going well, everybody.
Hang out. Yeah. Look, we're. I feel like it's making a positive turn. All right. Number 3.
Tip 3. Here's me. Give them advice when they need it. Though it may not seem as obvious as letting your brother borrow your car, sharing your wisdom and expertise is still sharing. In fact, to give your sibling advice can often be the very best form of sharing.
I feel like we're at a place now where when we see each other, we're just like, how's it going? Have you ever, what do you think about this? What do you, you have questions about this? What do we do? You know what I mean? I feel like now we're less fuck with each other and more just like how do we figure out, how do we crack the code to life right now to win? You know what I mean?
We're so past learning from each other or
But we
what
still
not to
goof
do.
around with each other.
But we're like we got out of that little circle and now we learn from ourselves. And
Yeah.
then when we get together, we share what we've learned from ourselves.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, crazy.
Yeah.
Because, 28 years later,
Yeah.
you've gone from a small circle of like, okay, I threw a remote at him. Don't do that.
Right.
Now in the real world, it's like
Murder.
I tried. Some guy cut me off. I should have hit him with my car.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do that. It's
No.
like, and then you make a reflection with that.
Right.
Like I get a great story with that. So David used to bring me to go play tennis.
Mm-hmm.
He taught me how to play tennis because I wanted to play varsity tennis because golf was in the fall and I needed something to do in the spring.
Yeah.
So David would come pick me up once or twice a week. We'd go play tennis. He'd kick my ass, but he'd teach me all these lessons of like, don't show your emotion. Once you show your emotion, you've lost the game because I
Right.
can use that against you. And I'm
Right.
like, holy crap. So him teaching me that was awesome. And he told me that, as long as we trained, I was not allowed to have a McDonald's burger.
Mm-hmm.
So I got skinny right then and there. Thanks, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
But I used that. So fast forward to, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And somebody kind of came at me for not doing a great job. The whole story's not here, but this guy came at me for not doing the great job of playing golf. And he was investing in me. So
Right.
that was kind of like, you don't see what I'm actually doing. I don't have to show you that I'm practicing 12 hours a day.
Right.
So I went out that next week and I had a tournament and I won the thing.
Yeah.
And I went to him and I was like, do you see this? Like
Yeah.
I just beat everybody in the desert
Yeah.
for best golfer. And he was like, good job. And I was like, something about showing your emotions. If I showed my emotions when he yelled at me,
Yeah.
I would have lost right there. And he would have been like, you know what? I'm done with this.
Yeah.
So I kind of held it in. I felt that like kind of learned that message from before. I don't know. That was a long story.
Yeah.
If you stuck with me on that, kudos to you. But
No, I
was great.
followed you on that.
that was something cool. I texted Dave. I was like, yo, remember that time? He's like, hell yeah, I do.
No,
Hell yeah.
that's an important thing in like my line of work too.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting screamed at all day by everybody, and I used to let it get to me, and I wouldn't show my emotion, but I get so stressed and bottle it up or whatever, and like I just get, people could see that I was frustrated, and it just made it worse, and like they would take advantage, and then one mentor that I had was just like, hey, never let them see you sweat.
Yeah.
You got to be a duck on water.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, a duck on water.
Duck on
Ooh,
water,
I like
because
that.
on top the duck is just floating, but underneath,
Yeah.
his legs are going like this.
Ah.
And he just looks like he's chilling, and that I've
Wow.
used that phrase for a long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've always used don't let them see behind the curtain.
Yeah,
Don't let them in.
right. Some
That's
Wizard
crazy.
of Oz stuff.
But that's like outside of the circle of the home.
Yeah, yeah.
So like I can share that experience myself to you.
Mm-hmm.
So those are our wisdoms.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy. All right. Regardless of your age, siblings are always in need of advice. Brothers and sisters can be our best collaborators, co-conspirators, and role models, but can serve as a cautionary tale as well. The fact that they are older or younger doesn't matter much either, as everyone has some piece of knowledge worth sharing. Boom, look at that. I shared a whole story that you're probably sleeping about, but you're now wiser about.
I was paying attention to you, whoever you are.
I know, yeah. I think I lost myself. Don't offer advice.
No, that was
where it's
very
not
that was
wanted.
very good.
That was a good one.
That
right?
was a good one.
That
Yeah.
was a great one. I thought
Yeah.
that was huge when it made a connection.
Why do you actually? Why do you beat yourself up when you actually like get to that level?
I don't know. I haven't experienced it yet.
Wow.
I can't look back on that yet.
Yeah, it was a good moment. Sit in it, enjoy it, hold on to it.
Love this wisdom you're giving me already.
Yeah.
Don't offer advice where it's not wanted. Let your siblings know that if they ever need your advice, you'd be happy to share it with them. Otherwise, you shouldn't butt in.
Yeah.
You didn't butt in just now. That
No.
was something that I should have said on.
Yeah, when I'm getting to that point where my pants are about to rip, that's when you should butt in, I think.
I ain't touching your butt.
When I can't put my butt in my pants.
You can't
okay?
put your butt in your pants and be like, dude, do you want a wheelchair
Yeah,
to get around? Because you can't move your feet? Because you're too big?
I'd be like, all right,
All right.
I'm not going to show my emotions.
suppress.
Suppress. You're a duck on water. I'm surprised you can float.
You're a duck on water.
God, more like a goose.
What?
Because geese are bigger than ducks. All right. Anyways, number 2, everyone. We gotta go. Do their favorite activity. Okay. Even if you don't like to run or play video games, try to do something your brother or sisters enjoy. They'll appreciate that you showed an interest, and even more importantly, will enjoy spending time with you. Take the opportunity to ask them more about the activity they enjoy. This will allow them to open up and can get the conversation going. I'll say, I don't care for golf, but I pay attention just enough and try to learn just enough so that when I do play with you, I'm able to keep up so that we can have fun to a certain extent. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You learn it to where you can understand.
I'm not
what
so
I'm saying.
bad where like you're kind of mentally out of it and you just are worrying about me getting anything done golf wise. We can actually play golf and fool around, and like I got some good hits in there.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole learning.
I'm
curve
not
right
I'm
there.
not I'm not coming out here like, here we go, I'm the Tiger Woods.
No. Mentally, yes, you've learned how to learn golf, which is great. Because when we go on the golf course, it's like that's a par, right? And I part of my job is to teach and have other people learn the game and grow the game.
I'm perfect at golf.
So you're perfect. Yeah, you're perfect at golf off the tee. You have a great swing, but you have no ability to learn physically.
Well, how?
Yeah.
Suppress.
Well, you don't, suppress. Well, you don't have a range around here. You're busy. You're 60 hours a week. You're not gonna like learn to play golf, and that's fine. I'm fine with that.
No, I can play just enough where like I could maybe par in like a best ball scenario, and I can have cigars and get drunk. Like that's what I want. That's how I have fun.
Well, that's how 80% of golf population does it. They just go out there to drink and have fun with their friends.
Right.
They're not going out there to win a golf tournament for $1 million.
Well, my brother's gonna win golf tournaments.
Goddamn right.
That's it. That's it. And right when you win, and the whole world is watching you, I'm gonna hold up a sign that said, "Never been kissed."
I thought you were gonna say you're fat.
You're fat.
Zach, how do you feel right
Good
now?
job, fatty.
You just won the Masters. Well, I just want to thank my fan. Well, my brother's holding up a sign that says you're fat.
You're still fat.
Can you make that jacket bigger, please? I see myself getting fat in a month.
The green jacket, yeah.
The green jacket is now too small for me after a day.
But also, I will say,
Traumatic.
I love to play video games. And you used to watch me play video games and actually genuinely enjoy doing it. And that made me feel really good because I, love doing video games.
I enjoyed watching
Yeah.
you and David play video games. You guys used to go back and forth with like Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed watching you play Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, that was a great one.
That was
I
fun
loved that
to watch because you were better at it than me, and I would just
Yeah.
be frustrated, and then I'd lose sight of the whole story.
Yeah.
So I feel like I was there to tell the story back to you when you
Yeah.
couldn't beat a level.
Well, that's it.
Except the one level where you couldn't beat the not Sora. Who's his buddy there?
Riku?
You couldn't beat Riku in Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah,
That took you like 3 days,
Yeah.
and then you didn't beat it, and then I did it twice, and I beat him.
Yeah.
And that to me, I was leveled up in your eyes.
Yeah, because I was like, look, someone else needs to do this with like fresh eyes because
Yeah.
I was just getting frustrated. And I just was like, sometimes you need someone new and someone to see it less like, technically how I was looking at it.
I can
but-
channel that feeling right now of when I beat it, and you were like, "Holy shit, yeah, bro,
Hell yeah.
That was awesome."
Hell yeah. Well, you're better at golf than me, but like I'm better at Call of Duty than you are, So
Yes. And
So
nowadays
that's it.
you can make more money at Call of Duty than golf.
well, there we go. That's right.
That's
right.
crazy. That's crazy.
All right, number one tip. We made it.
Number one tip.
Number one
Hashtag one. My name is next to that. Establish a sibling tradition.
Woo.
Whether it's a weekend trip or a movie marathon, establish a tradition with your brother or sister. You can do it on a monthly or yearly basis. For something like a trip, it may make sense to do it yearly. Movie marathons, though, can be done on a monthly basis. Try alternating who picks the movies and snacks as part of the tradition.
Yeah, I will say now that you're over here, because you were on the West Coast for like
5 years.
10 years, dude, it felt like. You were over there for a long time. Now that you're over here on the East Coast, You know, it's I've been seeing you a lot more, and you know, I feel like we're gonna start making some more traditional stuff.
The tradition is I'm using your couch to fly out of Newark. That's what
Yeah,
I'm doing.
that's the tradition. You're using me, right?
I use you.
Yeah,
But you
don't be
use me too.
surprised when you're dead asleep and a remote comes flying at your forehead.
And I just hear fatty.
Fatty.
No, the tradition that
yeah.
the tradition I think of is you coming to all of parents' weekend
Yes,
in college.
that was a great tradition.
Mom and dad would be like, "Can I come?" I'd be like, "No, Alex is coming."
I'd be like, no,
You came to all 4.
Yeah, I was there every time.
That was great.
Yeah.
That's
And it was cool watching you go through college when I already been through it,
You had
and
more friends than me.
and yeah, but I wasn't in like a fraternity or anything like that, so like you got to experience that, which was cool.
That was cool.
And you know, watching, you know, sleeping in the dorm with you,
Yeah.
like on a inflatable chair.
Yeah,
Like,
you slept in some
and
crazy
then
places.
and then you upgraded to a house, and then you know you had an
Yeah.
apartment. It was a whole. It was
Yeah, you saw the whole tutorial because you never
Yeah.
had that.
well, no, because I went right to my own apartment and
Yeah.
then would just go to the school
Yeah, so you
because it was a
lived,
different type of format.
You live like the college life through me.
Yeah. Well, I used to party at UCF all the time because I got a house at the last year there. So
Yeah, and we came to that. That was
yeah.
fun.
Oh yeah.
You guys ever do a
One moment I remember though, you and I lost in beer pong in this garage that was just completely packed. Do you remember that one? That
Yes.
time? We were winning, and then the place was just packed, and we lose.
It was one girl and a guy.
We lose by like 1 cup, and the place went crazy.
That was wild.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we're gonna make some more traditions, brother. This was fun.
Well, yeah. Now that we're closer,
This was it.
physically,
Yeah. Well,
we're on one.
and
bench.
mentally.
we're on one bench right now.
Yeah. And you know, I feel like the trauma has lifted. You know,
Trauma's lifted, but
we
yeah,
needed this. You know,
this was good.
And-
I'm
and
gonna
if-
sleep good tonight.
Yeah. And look, if you have a sibling out there that you need to lift some trauma with, then do it. Reach out to them. You know,
Don't regret.
Help them out.
No regrets.
Like you said, life is short. You know, go out there, love your sibling, love your family. All right. Well, those are the top 8 tips on how to deal with a sibling.
oh,
huh?
chill. Deal with a sibling.
I don't know. What was it? How to love a
How
sibling?
to love? How to have a sibling?
How to have a.
How to live with a sibling?
How to get along with your sibling. Wow. Thank you everyone for watching the Man Doozy podcast. Please comment what your favorite tip was, and if you have a tip on how to get along with your sibling, then please send me a comment. All right. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, every single audio platform you could think of, iHeartRadio, Pandora. I mean, literally everywhere, you know?
PayPal.
Tag your sibling. Be like, you're fat, right? Just do it. Spread the words.
Just
all
do
right?
it. Start the conversation.
Yeah.
I think you are fat.
Yeah. I feel.
I believe.
I feel like those pants don't fit. Okay. And if there's something you want to learn about and have me teach you while we also learn about it, then let me know. I'll see you next episode. Bang. Any last words for everybody?
Thank you for listening to me. That's all I got. Really. Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's been a blast. All right. I wasn't recording this whole time either. This was just
Perfect. Good.
I just need to
Good. I'm gonna
tell
go-
you some things.
I'm
Okay.
gonna go hide in the bathroom now.
That's right. All right. Bye bye.